From Dave Chappelle.
I had read in the paper that Caitlyn Jenner was contemplating posing to say these things, so I just figured I'll say it for everybody else.
To Bill Burr.
We're being disrespectful to the Christian religion. I'm telling you, you need to Google.
These are the funniest moments where top comedians absolutely roast celebrities. When Bill Burr and Joe Rogan sit down together, you know something hilarious is about to happen. And during the End of the World podcast at the Comedy Store, Bill took one look at Joe's hat and never let him live it down. But of course, there was one specific moment that triggered the roast. Bill was deep into his survival mode talk, going off about a post-apocalyptic, which apparently also includes some elk, turned into American chop suey, and he was proud of it. Until his wife completely shut it down.
Thank you. How do you like it?
I made this American chop suey with it, and my wife gave a f***ing bad review before anybody even tasted it, and everybody just said f*** it. Like, she goes, it looks like Hamburger Helper. I've been chowing it for like 4 days.
And then Joe hits him with a question that takes this conversation into a whole new direction. Watch what happens when Joe asks, does it make you more aggressive?
F***ing bad.
Does it make you more aggressive?
Oh, Joe, you f***ing lunatic. If somebody gets in my face, that might cause me to get more lunatic.
Bill's response? Pure gold. He doesn't just dismiss the idea. He absolutely tears into Joe for even suggesting that eating elk could turn you into some kind of wild animal. And just when you think he's done, his eyes lock on to Joe's hat.
You had to beat the f*** out of people for like 3 decades before you could like chill, smoke a little weed, put on your Little Rascals hat, and just f***ing chill out.
Oh, but he's just getting warmed up. Bill goes all in on Joe, describing him as the most testosterone-filled guy he's ever met. And let's be honest, he's not wrong.
You don't understand. I love him to death. But this guy is the most testosterone-filled dude I've ever met. That's why I love him. I love him. He's like every guy I met in Boston welded together. He's crazy.
Joe might be a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but Bill, he's a black belt in roasting people to their face. And that Little Rascals hat? Yeah, it never stood a chance. But this isn't the only time Bill has gone after Joe in the funniest way possible.
True joke. I mean, it's not true, but I had read in the paper that Caitlyn Jenner was contemplating posing in an upcoming issue of Sports Illustrated. And I know it's not politically correct to say these things, so I just figured I'll say it for everybody else.
Oh Lord, you know he's about to say what everyone was thinking, but too afraid to mention.
Yuck. Oh, sometimes I just want to read some stats. I don't know why you're gonna cram some man in the middle of the sports page like this.
Classic Chappelle timing. He just sits there and lets that land.
But I wasn't saying anything like Caitlyn Jenner's a bad person. I'm not mad at her for doing it. I'm not even mad at Sports Illustrated. If I'm mad at somebody, I'm probably just mad at myself. You understand? Because deep down, I know that I am not strong enough to not look at those pictures.
See what he's doing here? Playing the "it's not you, it's me" card. The man is a master of misdirection.
And I don't think I'm ready to see what she's trying to show me. So Caitlyn, goddamn it, if you go through with this thing, you better go hard or go home.
Hey, welcome back to Inside the NBA. I'm Ernie Johnson, that's Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley.
Hey there,
What's up? And on my right is Shaquille O'Neal.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Very merry. If you're Jewish, happy harmonica.
We all know Shaq and Kevin keep grilling each other every now and then, but in this SNL segment, Kevin took it to the next level. He slapped on a shiny bald cap and morphed into Shaq himself.
And I'd be personally happy if I hadn't bet $100,000 on Roy Moore.
Wait, you bet on Roy Moore?
I couldn't help it, man. I thought he was a lock. Roy Moore rode a horse to the polls.
Hey, Shaq can't ride no horse. Feet don't touch the ground. But you can't beat a dead horse, because dead horses tell no tales. Because they're horses who lost their tails.
Is it just me, or does Kevin look more like Megamind?
Shaq, you gotta get it together, man. I think you're the only basketball player whose brain has aged like a football player. Let's just say congratulations to Doug Jones.
It's amazing that the underdog won.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. Every dog has his day, but it's nighttime. No time for dogs. Dogs are asleep, so it's cat time.
Man, it just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it?
Cats come out at night. Freaks come out at night. Shaq a freak.
Shaq, what the hell you saying, man? We talking about the Senate election.
Oh, hey, I love the Senate. I write an email, hit the send button, boom, send it.
See what I meant when I said Shaq might get a little heated? Hey, Kevin, maybe stick to roasting someone your own size, buddy. And by that I mean size S for small but savage.
Oh, Shaq, it's like a whole bunch of words got jumbled up in your brain, and the fire marshal said, "Everybody out!"
Hey, you shut your mouth, Charles. Don't make me come over there and do some Shaq Fu in your ass. Yeah.
Come on, Kev. Shaq doesn't say at the end of every sentence.
Expect a big game from LeBron, who's having another MVP year. He's just on an entirely different playing field this season.
No. That's ridiculous, Kenny. LeBron is not on the field. He's on the court. You're dumb. And court is in session. All rise. The Honorable Shaq. And Shaq don't crack.
Now, here's the thing about roasting a legend. Even if he's your friend, you better be ready to get roasted right back. And boy, did this commenter deliver. Kenneth said, Kevin Hart did that skit standing and everyone was sitting. Brutal.
Let's all try to get along for once.
Yeah, that's right. Because when you get along, you go along. And when you go along, you tag along. And Shaq loves tag alongs. Best Girl Scout cookies, tag alongs. This Shaq of cookies.
The best part is yet to come. Wait for it.
Let's go, Chuck. Throw me the ball.
Right, guys.
Yeah, me and you, Charles. Let's go. I'm about to give you barbecue chicken. It's Ducats, because you Shaq'd in a fool. Let's go, Chuck.
Man, look at you. Tall body with little arms. You look like the letter F came to life.
Hey,
I don't know how bro balanced himself on whatever that contraption was, but the way he tried to match Shaq's height, give this man an award. To Kevin Hart getting offered up for adoption by Brad and Angelina on live TV.
As they're going to want to adopt them. Please welcome Kevin Hart and Ken Jeong. The Hollywood Foreign Press deemed The Martian a comedy and even nominated it. And hence, Matt Damon is here tonight, so that worked a treat, didn't it?
Yeah, apparently Matt Damon's ticket to the party was courtesy of a genre mix-up. The Martian. Sci-fi? Drama? Nope. Call it a laugh riot.
To be fair, The Martian was a lot funnier than Pixels. But then again, so was Schindler's List.
Torched celebrities so badly, they're still applying aloe.
Tonight we honor the reason the world has a Vin Diesel. Bruce is a real man's man. He told me numerous times not to hold back tonight. And it's been great getting to know you and your lovely family. And I see, I met Rumor, your daughter.
It's the 2018 Comedy Central roast, and Jeff Ross has his sights locked on Bruce Willis. He starts off all smooth and subtle, like a copper, sizing up a perp. But if you know Jeff, you know he's never one to hold back.
Hi, Rumor. I guess that's the name your mom gives you when she's not 100% sure who your father is. Get a shot of that whole table. It's the beautiful circle of life, Bruce. Your family looks like all the villains you killed off in the Die Hard movies.
Man, you can almost see the pain hiding behind that smile. But trust me, people, that's just the warm-up. Because why serve a single burn when you can set the whole room ablaze?
All night, people are saying I look like you, but Sybil Shepherd looks like Bruce Jenner Willis. And Lil Rel looks like Bruce, what you talking about, Willis?
Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call hitting two targets with one arrow.
This f***ing guy, Bruce Willis, wants an Oscar so f***ing bad, he's slowly morphing into one.
In all honesty, Bruce, acting like he's actually enjoying himself, might just be the greatest performance of his entire life.
You think everyone's like, hey, there's Kevin, great, but you know.
Dwayne Johnson's
Don't say it.
breath smells like on the regular. And nobody knows this. You wanna know where the eyebrow raise came from? It came from the reaction of people when he goes, hello. And everybody
We all know the funniest roast battles are between Kevin and Dwayne Johnson. One fan said, how can you win an insult battle against a comedian? Kevin Hart was too savage.
My piece of advice for anybody that's short is that it's okay There's nothing that comes with being tall outside of a conversation.
There's nothing that comes with being tall.
Nothing. There's nothing that comes
no
with it. Tall people,
advantage at all.
Tall people are stupid.
The spiritual grounds that you took me to, and I swore, you even sung a song. You were like, yeah, but I remember, I specific. We'll talk about it later.
Well, how the song go?
The song, you were like, Kuna Matana.
Yeah, that sounds like an original.
Okay, here's a good impression of Dwayne Johnson, the people's hero, okay? Mr. Dwayne, could you sign my belt? And he's like, oh, come on, man. he throws kids off with signals to take their mind off of what they asked for. Mr. Dwayne, can I get an autograph?
Okay.
Hey.
Now you'd think after calling The Rock's breath trash, dragging his teeth, Kevin would let up a little.
Dwayne Johnson has women thighs. He's got women thighs.
What does that mean, though? Because these are sensitive times. I'd love to hear that. What does that mean that I got women's thighs?
It just means that you're very
No, but I mean, go ahead. It sounds like that's a wonderful rabbit hole you should go down right now.
You know what? I don't need to explain myself.
No, please explain it to the world.
This game
What does women's thighs mean?
This isn't an explain game. This is insults. Women have nice thighs. You shouldn't have their thighs. This is what I'm saying. Now shut up, man.
But nope, just looks.
What just happened?
What do you don't?
What?
Don't laugh like that.
You look like a detective that's a DJ.
I'm trying. This is why I need therapy, DJ.
During the 2003 MTV VMAs, Chris Rock took the stage doing what he does best, unleashing unfiltered, high-octane comedy. And this time, the target in his crosshairs, none other than the notorious P. Diddy.
Every time I see Say What Karaoke, I say, what the hell is on the next station? The Real World South Africa? But my favorite show on MTV is Making the Band with P. Diddy. It's the best show on all of television.
Wait till you hear his reason, and trust me, it's absolutely insane. Something only Chris Rock could get away with on live television.
Because you get to see Puff Daddy be a mentor to the children. And who better than Puff Daddy to show the kids wrong from wronger?
Honestly, with all the lawsuits, controversies, and mysterious energy Diddy's been giving off recently, this roast feels like it aged like fine wine. Or maybe spoiled milk, depending on how you see it.
You get to see Puff Daddy pass down great fatherly advice like, you can't wear that gun with them shoes.
Man, I miss the days when the VMAs were chaotic, unfiltered, and downright hilarious. This was peak entertainment. Anywho, after finishing off Diddy, completely shut down Joe's quarantine and mask talk before it even started. So here's the deal. Joe was going off about how creepy it was that politicians, like Mayor Garcetti, had the power to shut everything down during the pandemic. He wasn't happy about people being told when they could work, where they could go, and how they had to live. Bill, he wasn't exactly thrilled about it either. But he also understood one simple fact. Getting 400 million people to follow the same rules? Impossible. Even comedians can't agree on things, let alone an entire country.
But they're trying to look out for your best interests and trying to get 400 million people to all pull in the same direction. It's you can't get 40 comics to pull in the same direction.
And then Joe goes there. He starts bringing up people who didn't follow quarantine, the ones who walked around without masks, acting like nothing was happening. And before Joe could even build his case, Bill just shut it down. Watch how Bill stops this conversation before it even begins.
I want people to walk down the street with a mask on?
Let's not start this, Joe.
Do you, though?
Let's not start this, okay?
Let's start it.
I don't want to start this bullshit. I'm not going to sit here with no medical degree, listening to you with no medical degree, with an American flag behind you, smoking a cigar, acting like we know what's up, better than the CDC.
That right there? Classic Bill Burr. He doesn't just disagree with Joe, he refuses to have this conversation with him. Two guys with no medical degrees sitting in a studio acting like they know better than the CDC? Yeah, Bill wasn't having it. But here's where it gets even better. Joe still tries to make a point about the WHO's early stance on masks. And Bill? He takes that and flips it into one of the funniest analogies you'll ever hear.
This is like rollerblading. Everybody rollerbladed, and then there was that one homophobic joke, and then everybody acted like they never did it. And then 100 million rollerblades got thrown into the ocean. We all wore masks, and then all of a sudden, people are sitting there. But you don't have the body type for it, dude. Your knuckles would scrape on the ground.
He compares masks to rollerblading. And let's be real, he's not wrong. One day, everyone's doing it. The next, one joke makes it uncool, and suddenly, millions of rollerblades get tossed in the ocean. But Bill isn't done yet. Now he sets his sights on the real tough guys. The ones who thought wearing a mask was some kind of weak move.
Like this like soft thing that you were doing, like being courteous. Being courteous. What is it for bitches? That was so stupid.
Wearing a mask. First of all,
oh God, you're so tough with your open nose and throat. Gee, Joe, and your 5 o'clock shadow. This is a man right here. A man doesn't wear a mask.
I mean, how do you even argue with that? Bill perfectly mocks the idea that being courteous somehow makes you soft. He paints the picture of these real men walking around with their open noses and throats, acting like warriors. Bet the feminists are really happy about this. And here's the kicker. Joe starts admitting that at the beginning of the pandemic, he was actually scared. Like, really scared. He was stocking up on food, convinced he had COVID, even checking his own breathing.
I feel like my breath is my breath is coming short.
And Bill? Oh, he pounces.
I got over it, though. I got over it.
Guy had a panic attack sitting on 12 elk. You had a panic attack
in
and
the
then,
sauna.
And then you felt bad about yourself, and then you attack people with masks. That's how it works.
I want you to go all the way. Hustler style. Do you know what hustler style means, miss? That means spread the lips.
Yep, he went there, but it gets worse.
I hope she spreads her lips and there's an itty bitty dick that. Ah! The show is behind the curtains.
The crowd is in absolute shambles right now. That's the Chappelle effect. He'll have you laughing even when you're thinking, should I be laughing at this?
I don't know what I said that upset that person. But I'm gonna tell you something. When I read that letter, and the moments after I read it, I did something that many black men in America do not have the time or the money to do.
Now watch how masterfully Dave shifts gears.
I thought about how I felt. I asked myself a very basic question that I don't think I ever directly contemplated. I said, man, Dave, if you're writing all these jokes, do you have a problem with transgender people?
What do you think, does he?
And the answer is absolutely not. You guys think I am? I don't understand all the choices that people make, but I do understand that life is hard and that those types of choices do not disqualify you from a life with dignity and happiness and safety in it.
And Sofia Vergara is definitely one of his favorite targets.
I have this accent that is not that strong, but you know, it sometimes not allows me to play every role that I want.
Kevin and Sofia are on the Graham Norton show, and Sofia's diving into a story about adapting to Griselda Blanco's challenging role. But just looking at their faces, you know this conversation is going to be super hilarious.
I had to wear like bras to push myself down a little and make myself less Latin, and you know. So, and also I created this walk, and I had to learn how to smoke, and I had to learn how to do cocaine. So it was a complicated character for me.
Kevin's already in disbelief, but Sofia isn't done yet.
Being drugs right now.
Yeah, I'm Colombian, but we don't get high on our own supply.
Well.
I will say this, Graham, and like, you have to see, because of our relationship, like it's extremely like there's banter.
Uh-oh, looks like Kevin's ready to fire his torches.
I'm so happy for my sister, like showcasing this side of her. She's so dope on so many levels, but when you get to shock the world that followed you for 11 years as one character, you get to come out this dark, well, you get to learn that that's who she really is. and that's what I'm excited.
right? Like, I know the truth. That's who she is.
Wow, nice one, Kev. But this friendly banter didn't stop there.
I think there's something beautiful about like having to accept that each show every night is going to be completely different to the next, and it's not always going to be what you want it to be.
You feel like me and Sophia.
Oh, Sophia, oh my God, that was a bleep.
Why are you putting me in your group?
I'm gonna go down and take you with me.
No, Evan, Sophia's done a Broadway show.
And this when did you do that? When did you do that?
Hollywood Foreign Press, if you're watching, this is why no one takes your category system seriously. But Ricky wasn't done with Matt Damon just yet. Oh no, when it came time to actually introduce him, he took one final swing and dragged Ben Affleck along for the ride.
Is the star of the hilarious comedy The Martian. Oh, he nearly died. Right. He's also the only person who Ben Affleck hasn't been unfaithful to.
Imagine surviving Mars only to get roasted harder on Earth. That intro wasn't just a jab, it was a full tabloid headline, live on stage.
The Golden Globes are to the Oscars what Kim Kardashian is to Kate Middleton, basically. What? Bit louder, bit trashier, bit drunker, and more easily bought.
Well, that phase turned into a full-blown weather report. Stormy with a 100% chance of side-eye and rage suppression. Speaking of rage, I'd bet good money that Alec Baldwin and Caitlyn Jenner felt their insides scorching too.
You were f***ing awesome tonight. I just want to say that. You were really awesome tonight. But I wouldn't f*** you with Bruce Jenner's.
Oh, the precision. That joke didn't just land, it crash-landed, exploded, and left behind permanent emotional damage. But don't laugh too hard, Alec, because you're next.
I'm speaking as a big fan. I love all your movies, Alec. I loved you in The Departed, which is also what Caitlyn calls her penis. And of course, Alec, you got your Oscar nomination for The Cooler, which is where Caitlyn keeps her penis.
Uh-oh. This man doesn't just play with fire, this man is fire. Thank God it doesn't get more savage than this.
And of course, your first big break was The Hunt for Red October, which is what Caitlyn calls her vagina.
Okay, I take my words back. I wonder if Caitlyn went home and cried that night. But even if she didn't, Alec definitely did.
Any fans of Alec Baldwin's Donald Trump impression here tonight? Okay. What a lot of people don't realize is that for the last 3 years, Donald Trump is actually doing an Alec Baldwin impression.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Incoming.
He calls people names, he yells at the press, he married an immigrant half his age. The only difference is that Trump calls his daughter a fox, not a pig. Here's to you, Ireland. Great job, Ireland. You didn't oink once.
Bada bing, bada boom. Please get the medics, will you? These burns are rather severe.
I just put myself out on the carpet, like I was walking, and I felt some foof. It was a flame, and they was like, what was that? And I was like, well, it ain't gas. That's my career.
1 minute he's talking about how his career's flying high, and the next, he's blaming Leonardo DiCaprio for the smell he may or may not have created.
No. That's me giving you information.
No, you need to blame someone else.
Oh,
Leonardo DiCaprio, was he behind you?
Channing, get your nasty stuff out of here. That's what I said. That's my career back there that just blew up.
Yeah, not gas. It was your career.
Wasn't gas. Little bit was gas. Little bit of it. Not a lot. It was a crowd. They can't pinpoint it on me.
Another show I like on MTV is Punk'd with Ashton Kutcher. Now, Punk'd is a show that they play practical jokes on celebrities and tell them that they broke. You know, they find people like what's my man, Justin Timberlake.
Continuing his carnage at the VMAs, Chris spun around and locked onto Justin Timberlake. Poor JT never stood a chance. And to be fair, even he couldn't help but chuckle through the pain.
Broke. Now, they told Justin he was broke. You know, as soon as they told Justin, he started crying a river. And when they told Justin Timberlake that he was broke, he got real white all of a sudden. He's like, dude, I'm broke. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Mommy, mommy.
As if the crying mommy bit wasn't enough, pushing Justin deeper into roast territory until every last ounce of dignity had been wrung out.
And just when Justin got so desperate that he got on his knees and was ready to lick a man for $8, somebody shows up and says, man, you've been punked.
Chris, go easy on the guy. But then again, when you're Chris Rock, mercy is optional.
Then Justin gets all black again. Oh, yeah, you got me, dog. Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. Assalamu alaikum, dog. Yeah. Yeah, Fashizi, my kneesy. Fashizi. Yeah, they always punk people like Justin, all these Mickey Mouse celebrities.
Justin's wounds were still fresh. Sure, he was smiling, but behind those pearly whites was a man emotionally limping off stage. Whether it's calling out celebrities, society, or even robots, the man will say exactly what's on his mind. And in this next Netflix special, he did not disappoint. It all started with a simple fear: robots. Bill was watching 60 Minutes when he saw something that shook him to his core. A robot, sitting there, cool as can be, getting interviewed on 60 Minutes. No nerves, no hesitation, just rattling off answers like it had nothing to worry about. Bill was already uneasy, but then the interviewer casually asked, "What are your goals?" And without missing a beat, the robot responded, "To become smarter than human beings."
And I literally leaned towards the TV. I'm like, these things have goals?
That's when Bill lost it, sitting alone in his hotel room yelling at the TV, wondering why no one else was freaking out. But if there was one person who did see where this was going, it was Stephen Hawking. Now, Bill has some thoughts on Hawking.
Smart person, every super smart person in the world is saying these things are gonna kill us. Even your boy here, the guy he recently died, what was his name? He was always sitting down.
He acknowledges that the man was a genius, but to Bill, the problem wasn't his intelligence, it was his attitude.
Hawkins, yeah. Too good to stand up and make his point, just sitting down all smarmy.
Every time Hawking made a public statement, it was something apocalyptic.
That guy's dead though. You know? Look at you guys, your heart. How much longer do you want to?
And Bill just wanted to hear something positive for once. Watch how he describes it.
He was so negative. He never had anything positive to say. Hey, Steve, what do you got for us today? In 2035, there'll be no more apples. Thank you, Steve. Thanks a lot. Wasn't thinking about that. Now I am. Hey, so what's the solution? It's too late. We needed to try 40 years ago. Thanks a lot, buddy.
The way Bill sees it, Hawking's whole thing was dropping terrible news, then basically telling us, well, you should have fixed it 40 years ago. And then he takes it one step further.
Out with that guy for about 3 minutes before I took the brake off his chair and just zoomed him into the other room. Hey, Steve, come back in when you got something dumb and positive to say.
Yeah, that might be one of the darkest jokes Bill's ever told. But the best part? He knows it's messed up, and he just leans into it, painting the most absurd image of himself, zooming Hawking away like some cartoon villain. And that's classic Bill Burr.
I denounce anti-Semitism in all its forms. And I stand with my friends in the Jewish community. And that, Kanye, is how you buy yourself some time.
When Dave hosted SNL in 2022, he opened with a jab at Kanye's anti-Semitic controversy that had everyone holding their breath.
But before I start tonight, I just wanted to read a brief statement that I prepared. I denounce anti-Semitism in all its forms. And I stand with my friends in the Jewish community.
Dave starts his SNL monologue addressing Kanye's anti-Semitic comments head on. Notice how he sets up what seems like a genuine statement of solidarity.
And that, Kanye, is how you buy yourself some time.
Boom. One line, and the entire audience is in shambles. Dave's timing is unmatched. But then, he breaks down Kanye's ego on full display.
A year ago, I'd seen him on a podcast called Drink Champs. Great show. And it was an amazing appearance. Noriega and them were there, the rappers that I love, and they all had their gold chains and stuff on. And Kanye said, only millionaires wear chains. They said, what?
Now he's about to serve us the most Kanye thing Kanye has ever said.
He said, I'm a billionaire. Billionaires don't wear their money on their body. I tucked my chain and I said, oh, snap. That's right.
Billionaires don't what now? Only Kanye could make Dave Chappelle double take his own jewelry choices.
But when he woke up, he went on Drink Champs again. This time, he was on one. He was mad about something. He said, I can say anti-Semitic things, and Adidas can't drop me. Now what?
Of course, this was the same interview where Kanye thought he was untouchable. Spoiler alert, he wasn't.
Adidas dropped that nigga immediately. Ironically, Adidas was founded by and they were offended. I guess the student surpassed the teacher.
This right here is why Dave is the GOAT. That historical connection? Absolutely brutal, and not a single word wasted.
I guess the student surpassed the teacher.
But things definitely got heated with Tom Brady.
You know, Tom, this is crazy because for more than 20 years, Tom has ruined Sundays for football fans all over the country. All over the country. But tonight, we're going to ruin yours, Tom. I'm going to ruin your Sunday.
Tom Brady's roast might go down in history as the most disappointing. Not because the jokes didn't land, but because of his reaction. Everyone took shots, but Kevin's bit hit Tom a bit too hard.
We are here to honor this man tonight, man. This is a room full of friends and family. I'm looking around, it's insane. I want to let you know, Tom, off the bat, that that's not why I'm here. I'm not here for your support. I'm here for the money. They paid me well, right? Let's just get that out.
That was just the start. The real hit came with this jab.
Sometimes gotta your coach. You know who else they coach? Giselle. She that karate man. No?
Ouch. That joke about his ex-wife and her new boyfriend definitely stung Tom a bit. Oof. That was less of a comparison and more of a drive-by. Somewhere Kim's probably filing a defamation lawsuit. And that wasn't all.
What's with all the divorces? What's going on? I mean, Arnold and Maria, J-Lo and Mark Anthony, Ashton and Demi, Kim Kardashian and some guy no one will ever remember. He wasn't around long. 72 days. A marriage that lasted 72 days. I've sat through longer James Cameron acceptance speeches than that.
We've been to dentist appointments that lasted longer. And since we're on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Ricky caused havoc with a comment on Caitlyn Jenner. For context, Caitlyn Jenner had publicly come out as transgender in 2015.
But as I say, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner, obviously.
Before anyone could breathe a sigh of relief, he immediately dropped the hammer on Caitlyn Jenner. And then Ricky seemed like he was about to praise Caitlyn's journey, which, for a split second, might have made people think, wow, maybe he really is being nice.
Of course. What a year she's had. She became a role model for trans people everywhere, showing great bravery in breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes.
Wait for the punchline. Right as the audience let their guard down, Ricky flipped the whole setup on its head.
She didn't do a lot for women drivers, but...
Yes, Caitlyn broke barriers and shattered stereotypes, but she didn't exactly help the reputation of women drivers. For those who don't know, Caitlyn was involved in a fatal car accident on February 7th, 2015, resulting in the death of Kim Howe. It's the Inside the NBA roast on TNT. Jeff is busy grilling everyone, and Charles Barkley just landed on his radar. Guess we all know what happens next.
Mr. Barkley, I love you. How many Charles Barkley fans in here tonight? All right. Charles Barkley looks like he puts his whole mouth over the drinking fountain.
He starts off subtle, but the next thing you know, boom.
But folks, when the great Charles Barkley speaks, he keeps it real. He doesn't sugarcoat anything except his breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Charles Barkley only agreed to be in the movie Space Jam because he thought it was about jelly that was out of this world.
You better check your actual sugar levels, Charles, because you might have just crashed after this roast. Wonder what he dropped, sugar or his dignity?
Growing up, I loved basketball, but I was never very good at it. Kenny Smith, you can relate, right? Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith. Sounds like a name Charles Barkley gives to the cops.
Jeez, Jeff, take a break. Well, actually, scratch that. Keep going. This is too good.
Kenny Smith. Sounds like Shaq trying to say Kimmy Schmidt. Actually, Kenny Smith played on the same college team as Michael Jordan. And that's where the comparison ends.
Keep smiling, Kenny. Keep smiling. Don't let him know what breaks you, honey.
You're a cool guy, Kenny. But your eyebrows are a metaphor for your playing career. They start out strong, but then they retire early.
Oh, man. At this point, all that's missing is some barbecue sauce because Jeff literally barbecued that guy. He slow roasted him, flipped him over, and made sure he was well done. He moved on to something even messier, Kim Kardashian's divorce.
And the end of Kim and Kanye in real life. In a divorce, Kim got the house and Kanye got the stadium. That's right.
Because let's be honest, when a relationship ends and one person gets the house and the other gets a stadium, you already know who won.
When they separated, Kanye moved into Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This is actually Kanye's room. Let's take a look.
Really did move.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like the women's gym at the NCAA tournament. Look at it. Remember they only had 3 weights?
And just when you think Kevin's done with Kim, he keeps going. It's just that he roasts her ex like it's personal. Because what do you even say about a man who lost the house in a divorce and decided to live in a stadium?
It looked like the Olympic dressing room
the box beds.
Exactly.
Only Kanye. Look at this, man.
Then he went to a game later that night that was on top of the stadium that he was sleeping up under.
Kevin starts by painting a hilarious picture of what his life is going to look like now that he lives in the stadium.
Yeah, well, when they said, Kanye, what you about to do after this? I'm about to go downstairs and go to bed. What? Yeah, I'm about to go right to sleep. I ain't gonna do too much after this. I ain't trying to be up all night. I'm gonna go right downstairs and go to bed. Tell them they gotta wrap this basketball shit up. I got a big day tomorrow.
He then moves on to roasting his outfit choices.
Hey, Kanye! Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Kanye got pantyhose on his face. Kanye walked in that looking like a bank robber from the 80s. Put the money in the bag!
Snoop just can't hold his laughter in. He's completely lost it, just like the rest of us. Kanye shows up at a game looking like an 80s bank robber in pantyhose and an Eddie Murphy jumpsuit. Kevin's jokes are classic. And the fans believe it too, because one fan said, "Are you about to, Kanye? I'm about to go downstairs and go to bed."
Luther? You know they could always see who was robbing them in the pantyhose?
Say you jab. Put the money in the bag.
I don't want to hear shit you got to say if it ain't a money in the bag.
Hey, man, I know you. You don't know me. Stop looking at me, man.
He needs to watch the clip again just so he can get back to roasting Kanye.
But the pantyhose weren't enough, so he took it to the next level, as seen in this photo. Look at this right here. Yep, there it is. There. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, perfectly normal. I don't know who that is. Who's that? Who's this regular guy at the bank? This isn't suspicious at all. I'm not scared.
What was Kanye thinking? That mask looks horrifying.
I'm not scared at all. Who's this man monster that looks perfectly normal? He doesn't eat people. Who the f is this? Oh, he's got black eyes. Look at this. Look at the mask. Look at the eyes.
This shit is amazing, man.
What is Kanye trying to do, man?
I don't know.
Snoop Dogg is on stage ready to absolutely ruin Kevin in every way possible.
Now look, Kevin's from Philadelphia, right? Just like Bill Cosby. And just like Bill Cosby, women can't tell when Kevin's inside of them.
Except, Kevin did not take it lying down. He roasted him right back.
You know, Snoop used to call himself the D-O-double-G. That's right, the dog. Right, Snoop? Back in the day, the reason why he called himself the dog is because he was a dog with the ladies. It's true.
Now he's called a dog because he sleeps all day in a sunspot in the living room floor. Isn't that true?
Chris suddenly pivoted and locked his sights on DMX.
Yeah, I want to see him try to punk DMX. Hey, DMX, you've been punked. Oh, yeah? You've been stabbed.
Hilarious. This switch was flawless, the timing impeccable. Chris showed that whether it's pop stars or hardcore rappers, no one gets immunity.
Ain't nothing like that second wife happiness.
Winning the 2024 Mark Twain Prize was a huge moment for Kevin. And of course, Chris Rock was there for him. But come on, what's a comedian without a little roasting his boy on the biggest night of his life?
I had seen him, you had a special on Showtime, and there was a bunch of young comedians and Kevin. And I think we had like a lunch break or something, and Kevin came up to me and asked for advice. And I'd seen him, and I don't know.
Chris starts off all nostalgic, recounting how Kevin once sought his advice back when he was just starting out. Sounds sweet, right?
And he literally did exactly what I told him. I looked at him, I said, yo, man, you're really funny, but your problem is you're competing with these other comedians. They are not your peers.
Listen closely, y'all. It's about to get intense.
You're better than all of them, but you need to get out of their circle and develop your own voice. That's what I told him, right? True story.
For a second, you'd think, aw, what an emotional flashback. But don't get too comfortable, people. Chris lets it simmer, then throws in the punchline so fast, you barely see it coming.
Then 800 days, Kevin Hart was a bigger star than me. Within 800 days, he was taking parts from me. He's in a movie with The Rock. My last name's Rock.
Yep, there it is. Classic Rock.
How the he get the part? From now on, when I see young comedians, they ask me for advice, I just say, shut the up. But I love Kevin Hart. I'm glad I'm here tonight. Enjoy your new wife and kids.
If only Kevin had screamed, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth," would have been poetic, right? But when he sets his sights on Oprah Winfrey, things got brutal. Now you might be thinking, what does Oprah have to do with this? Well, back in 2013 when the Lance Armstrong doping scandal exploded, Oprah was the one who got the big exclusive interview. And Bill, he wasn't having it. To Bill, Oprah sitting there shocked at Lance Armstrong's confession was the most ridiculous thing ever. Like she had no idea that a guy competing at the highest level would do whatever it takes to win. But Bill takes it even further, because if there's one person who should understand doing what you gotta do to get to the top, it's Oprah.
Now, the whole thing was annoying, and I hated how Oprah was interviewing him and acting like she was dumbfounded that this guy would do this. Like, she's been in show business for 35 years, and she can't, like, wrap her head around some guy doing whatever it takes to get to the next level. Didn't she, for the first 5 years, have, like, midgets who wanted to bang their mailman's boyfriend?
Bill lays it out plain and simple. Oprah built her empire off wild daytime talk shows. Back in the day, it wasn't all book clubs and inspiring speeches. She was out there putting people on stage with the most insane reality TV drama imaginable. And, as Bill points out, she didn't want to do it. But guess what? She wrote it out until she had enough power to say no.
And she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it, but she didn't have the power to say no. So she wrote it out. And then when she could make a good decision, she did a show. But she stood on the heads of those little people for 5 years until she got, and then she's sitting there.
So now, years later, she's sitting across from Lance Armstrong, acting dumbfounded. Like she can't believe he'd do something questionable to get to the next level. Bill's response? Give me a break.
You know exactly what he's doing. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Look, the guy was a sociopath on a bicycle, all right? As far as I'm concerned, we got off easy.
Yeah.
If that guy was working for a corporation, he probably would have been pouring stuff in the water supply, doing God knows.
That right there is why nobody roasts like Bill Burr. To him, the whole interview was one giant performance. Oprah wasn't really outraged. She was just playing the part, acting like she had never seen this kind of ambition before. But Bill, he doesn't stop at Oprah, because if we're talking about real villains, what about the people running cycling?
And those guys who run that filthy sport, who are sitting there going like, oh, this is ridiculous. He doesn't represent cycling. Are they going to return all the money that they made off of that guy? Huh? They're going to turn in their yachts? They're not going to turn in their, they're not going to do it. Everyone.
Bill's whole point? Everyone benefited from Lance Armstrong's success. Oprah, the media, the cycling industry. But the second he got caught, they all turned on him. And his last message for them?
Turn in your yachts.
Yeah, we'll be waiting on those yachts.
Kevin is one of the greatest comedians I've ever seen. And Kevin is one of the greatest men that I've ever known. Hello, Jerry.
This entire speech was a series of compliments followed by some quick-witted backhanded remark.
And I know that inside you feel awful sometimes, but I've never seen it on your face, and I've never felt it in your presence. And I am honored to know somebody like you. I really wish you would have come when I won this award.
Here's what you need to know. Kevin's all for honoring you, as long as you don't butcher his plans.
And I thought to myself, if I ever had a chance to honor you in front of your family, boy, I'll come running. I just wish it wasn't this Sunday, because I was supposed to be in Jamaica. Just afraid of being attacked. Happens to the best of us. Don't ever forget what happened to that French actor. You know what I'm talking about? Juicy Smouillet. He's a very famous French actor.
Watch how Dave milks this French actor bit until the audience is in tears.
Y'all never heard of Juicy Smouillet? Juicy Smouillet is an actor from France. And he became famous on a show called Empire.
3 times he doubles down on the French claim, and each time the laughter gets louder. For those of you who don't know, Jussie Smollett is an actor accused of staging a hate crime hoax.
One night, he was in Chicago late at night and was the victim He was the victim of a racist and homophobic attack.
When he starts laughing mid-sentence about Jussie being a victim, even Dave can't keep it together. The crowd is absolutely losing it.
You see, Juicy Smouillet is gay and he is black, not just French.
But hold on, because Dave's MAGA attacker description is about to get so detailed, you'd think he was an eyewitness.
Oh, it was a crazy story. Apparently, when he was walking down the street late at night, 2 white men came out of the shadows with MAGA hats on and beat him up. Tied a rope around his neck, called him all kinds of and put some bleach on him and ran off into the night.
Celebrity Twitter was not having the same reaction as regular folks, though.
International news. And everybody was furious, especially in Hollywood. It's all over everybody's Twitter feed and Instagram page. Justice for Juicy and all this shit. The whole country was up in arms. He was talking about it all the time on the news.
But Black America's reaction apparently didn't match the outrage memo.
And for some reason, African Americans, we were like oddly quiet. We were so quiet about that the gay community started accusing African American community of being homophobic for not supporting him.
Wait for it. Dave's about to drop the real reason for that community silence.
What they didn't understand is that we were supporting him with our silence. Because we understood that this was clearly lying.
LeBron James, real good friend of mine. Well, he was. He hasn't heard this joke yet. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Kevin Hart's on a roll, calling out society's wild obsession with plastic surgery. And guess who just ended up on his target? Yep, LeBron James.
I remember in the beginning of LeBron's career, he was going bald. His hair was real thin up top. You could count the hairs on top of his head. You know how I know that? Because I was the one counting the hairs on top of his head. What?
You can already tell this roast is about to be smoother than Botox.
I didn't see Brian for like 3 weeks. I didn't see him, and I didn't talk to him. Brian showed up at a wedding I was at. He had a head full of hair. Walked in that with all his confidence, like I didn't see him 3 weeks ago with the truth on his head.
Honestly, if a friend of mine showed up with the transformation like that, I'd be just as stunned.
He walked in, he was like, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What up, what's going on? I said, what the is going on with you? What the is that in your head? People start kicking me. Chill, Cam, chill. I said, get your feet off of me. Ain't no chill. I want to know what the that is on Brian's head.
As this commenter perfectly said, like Kev or not, he's at the top of his game and deserves his respect. And I couldn't agree more.
And I'll tell you what it's not. I knew what it wasn't. I knew it wasn't a damn toupee. I knew that much. You know how I knew it wasn't a toupee? Because they don't make toupees. They never have. They never have. What the is that on your head, LeBron? Is it alive? Is it alive?
Now, LeBron might be a little sensitive about this topic, but I bet even he found this jab super hilarious.
Jeffrey Tambor did it in a dress. What a year he's had. Oh, what an actor, what a role. It's... Every day he has to put on all the women's clothes and the hair and makeup and let people film it. That takes balls. So, I don't know how he does it.
He really said that takes balls, and then doubled down like it was a biology class hosted by a bulldog.
How he does it? I really don't. I've seen his balls. They're huge and long. I don't know if he tucks them in the bra or does that thing when you push them out the back and let them hang out like a bulldog. No one knows. I love Jeffrey Tambor. I don't know if that's because he's such a great actor or because he reminds me of my nan.
I'm roasting you for the entire world tonight. The roast fans really want blood this time, even though most of your fans haven't even gotten their periods yet.
Ouch. Well, that came in swinging right from the start.
But if you can take a joke, then so can the believers watching tonight, because face it, Beebs, you become a cocky little sh**. You are the King Joffrey of pop. What's your rap name? Feminem?
Oh my god, Justin. Justin, you're already looking insulted? Buddy, if this is how you're reacting now, how on earth are you gonna survive what's coming next?
Selena Gomez wanted to be here, but she's dating men now. Is it true you dumped her because she grew a mustache before you? That's right, Selena Gomez used to bang this guy. Proving once again that Mexicans will do the disgusting jobs Americans just won't do.
Uh-oh, looks like someone is low-key ticked off after that Selena joke. But hey, the beauty of comedy, you can be super pissed.
And if you want to know why I don't feel safe, at this moment, I want you to look to your left and look to your right. If you see somebody stooping down or sweating, it's because they got warrants. And guess what? You're going to jail tonight, and I got a couple people that I want to get locked up, okay? Floyd Mayweather, congratulations on the fight, buddy, but you're going to jail for those damn cowboy boots. You're going to jail.
It starts off light. Kevin says he doesn't feel safe. Next thing you know, random celebs are getting sentenced to imaginary jail time. Stephen A. Smith, locked up for existing.
Guess what? You're going to jail tonight, and I got a couple people that I want to get locked up, okay? Stevie, I see you. You going to jail. I don't know why, but you just need to be locked the f*** up, man. It's got to stop. Damn it, Stevie, they got to get you out of here, man.
Another fit enters the chat. Kevin pauses, squints, and goes straight to sentencing.
You changed. You wore a suit tonight. That's not you. Jail.
Then we spot a pair of boots that should have never left the store.
Floyd Mayweather, congratulations on the fight, buddy, but you're going to jail for those damn cowboy boots. You're going to jail. I want to lock you up tonight. That was a bad fashion choice. Okay, that's it.
And just when you think it can't get worse, it does.
I was looking hard. Look, Ross, I ain't gonna get you. Yes, I am. Velvet sweatsuit, Nacho. Jay. Woo! Bang, bang, got it.
These lot of rappers are separated. You can't have 50, ain't nowhere near Ja Rule. You know, you can't have Jay-Z near Nas. Nobody got no beef with Eminem. Ain't no rapper popping nothing about Eminem. Ain't nobody saying nothing. I'm not even gonna say nothing bad about Eminem.
Chris took to the stage again, this time wondering out loud, why does nobody beef with Eminem? Good question, Chris. Great question. But maybe don't?
Eminem don't even like his own mama. So Lord knows what he'll say about your black ass, okay? And Eminem's a white rapper. So his record's gonna be on every station, the country station, the talk station. The black rapper's just on Hot 97.
Whoops. Careful now, Chris. You might want to steer that joke elsewhere, because the kind of beef you'll start with Slim Shady himself, that one's gonna be way too raw to digest.
Now you gotta watch where you sit, everybody. You can't sit 50 near Ja Rule. You can't sit Jay-Z near Nas. Everybody you gotta watch out for. You got the Olsen twins over there, so then you gotta put R. Kelly way up there.
And once again, the day was saved by Chris swiftly diverting the joke elsewhere. But that tension? Priceless. To Bill, the real story wasn't Caitlyn Jenner's transition. It was how the media covered it. There were actual crises happening in the world. Environmental disasters, economic issues, but what dominated the news cycle? Bruce Jenner's cup size.
When Bruce became Caitlyn, that was like a national news story, like at a ridiculous level.
Right.
There's like baby seals washing up on the beach because there's no fish left, and they're talking to this lady, you know, like, so Bruce, are you gonna go? Can your Olympic back handle a D cup, or are you gonna go with like?
That right there, classic Bill Burr. He wasn't saying Caitlyn's transition wasn't a big deal. He was pointing out how the media blew it up to ridiculous levels, acting like it was the most important event in history, while far more pressing global issues were happening. But even that wasn't the part that bugged him the most. His real issue: Bruce never gave anyone a chance to say goodbye. His real problem? Bruce never gave us a heads up.
Not in any bad way, I'm just saying. I miss that guy. I miss him already. He should have told us. He should have given us a chance to say goodbye. I watched him on the Olympics. I watched him on Chips. I watched him on that horrible show my wife watched where he just walks around in the back.
Bill wasn't angry that Bruce transitioned. He was just caught completely off guard. Think about it. This was Bruce Jenner, a guy Burr had watched for decades. He was an Olympic champion, an American icon, even a cheesy 80s TV star on Chips. And yeah, eventually, he became a background character on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which Bill makes very clear he did not enjoy watching. But then, poof, one day Bruce was just gone. And suddenly, Caitlyn was here. No farewell speech, no, hey guys, I've got something to tell you. Just a total transformation. And according to Bill, that's just not fair.
Just all of a sudden, he's Caitlyn. Then you couldn't react. You couldn't on any level be like, oh my God, what the F? On any level, you couldn't say that, or you automatically homophobic. It's like, dude, I didn't hear your inner thoughts. I didn't know what you were doing. All of a sudden.
Now, here's where it gets even funnier, because you weren't even allowed to react. Imagine if a friend shaved off a long beard. Even for something that small, people would at least say, whoa, man, you shaved? Look at your chin. But with Bruce Jenner, he literally transitioned into an entirely different person, and everyone was just expected to act like it was totally normal, without even a moment of surprise. Bill knew he was expected to just immediately switch gears. No hesitation, no processing time, just, oh, okay, anyway, moving on.
Beard off, people were like, oh my God, that's your chin? Wow. This guy walked out a dude, came back a woman, you're just supposed to be like, oh yes, anyways, Caitlyn, that's what I was saying. This housing crisis. I think the bubble's creating again. It's just, God bless him. God bless her.
But what really killed Bill? The absolute fear of getting the pronouns wrong. He's out here just trying to talk, and suddenly it's like walking through a linguistic minefield.
About the pronouns, too.
Yeah.
You say God bless him, and they're like, her!
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can see Bill's show. You can see.
At the end of the day, Bill makes it clear he didn't care that Bruce became Caitlyn. What frustrated him was how the media and society gave people zero space to react like actual humans. Because when something huge happens, people need a second to process it, not out of hate or bigotry, just basic human nature. But more than anything, all he really wanted was a chance to say goodbye to Bruce.
I've been in trouble in my day. Well, I've been in a lot of trouble in my day, but man, let me tell you something. This guy, Puffy, buddy, this guy is in an enormous amount of trouble. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. They got this guy in a RICO case by himself.
You think your friends ask awkward questions? Wait till you hear what Dave's buddies wanted to know about those infamous freak-off parties.
A lot of my friends ask me, they say, Dave, did you know anything about those freak-off parties? And I'd be like, nah, man. I didn't know anything about the freak-off. And they all look at me like,
but hold on, because Dave's about to drop the most unexpected twist on why certain Hollywood guest lists never include his name.
and they'd be like, well, how all these people you know was at the freak-off, but she's the only one that wasn't at the freak-off. And I thought about it for a minute. I said, oh my God. I'm ugly. That's a tough way to find that out.
That moment of realization hits him like a truck, and his brutal self-assessment has the crowd losing it. Ever wonder what it feels like when you discover all your celebrity friends were partying without you? Dave's reaction is priceless.
Can you imagine if you were me reading the newspaper and found out everyone in Hollywood had a behind your back? Like none of y'all called me? Well, it really hurts. I'm glad they didn't call me though, because the stories that come out about it are crazy. I saw one thing on the internet, so I'm not sure this is true.
How have you managed to control that narrative in a way where it's honestly just in your favor?
I honestly think it's a mix of me trying to protect it and be really careful about what I do and where I go and people not giving.
Kevin and Don were deep in a serious conversation when Don casually dropped his age. And Kevin, man, he was surprised.
And me, I'm 56 years old.
I'm sorry. It was a thought and I blurted it out. I did not mean it that way.
I'm fine.
Well, you certainly don't look fine, Don.
But just understand, I didn't mean it the way it came out.
We'll take a poll on how you meant it with people here later after the show's over, but...
I can sit up here and honestly say, buddy, that was from a place of love.
Got it.
Like,
you didn't... If we could play it back right now...
Play it back.
These are two different...
Yep, definitely not fine.
There was no wow,
I said...
Amazing. No, you said the word? Do you want me to tell you how you said it?
I know how I said it, Don.
Do you want me to say it back to you how I think you said it?
Go ahead. Not true.
Kevin.
I said...
Each time you said it, now it's gotten quieter.
Even though Don seems angry, if we know Kevin, he's not going to stop that easily.
I could barely hear you that last time when you said it.
Well, that means that you can barely hear the truth. So who has the problem here? Maybe 56 is catching up.
Kev, I always knew you were hilarious, but who knew you had gaslighting skills too?
Because he reminds me of my nan.
Hey, if your acting reminds Ricky of his nan, you know it's coming from a place of weird, slightly inappropriate affection. At this point, you should know that when Ricky Gervais has the mic, no scandal is safe.
I came here in a limo tonight, and the license plate was made by Felicity Huffman. So, no, shush. It's her daughter I feel sorry for, okay? That must be the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to her. And her dad was in Wild Hogs, so...
Man, he didn't just bring up Felicity Huffman, he ran her over with the limo she allegedly helped pay for. And that Wild Hogs punch, that's just salt in the scandal. He then scans the room and starts roasting legends. Actual legends.
Lots of big celebrities here tonight. I mean legends, icons, yeah? Look, this table alone. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro.
Al Pacino, De Niro, everyone's bracing for impact. And then...
Baby Yoda. Oh, that's Joe Pesci, sorry. I love you, man. Don't have me whacked.
In 2011, Ross took aim at Charlie Sheen's tumultuous career during his epic roast.
Tell us, Charlie, how do you go from being TV's highest paid actor ever to being the highest actor ever to be on TV. Charlie's nostrils are so snotty and full of coke, he calls them the Hilton sisters.
Oof. Now that's getting high. On Comedy Gold, of course.
But listen, Charlie, after 8 seasons, was it 8 seasons of 2.5 Men? It's great to finally see you doing a comedy show. You got so by Ashton Kutcher, your name should be Demi Moore's vagina.
The pain in those eyes, man. The pain in those eyes. Or wait, maybe it's, something stronger.
Instead of getting his life together, Charlie went out on a national comedy tour. Where every night, Charlie, you walked on stage and you told the audience you were a warlock from Mars. Oh, maybe you are, but I'll tell you what you're not. A comedian from Earth.
Only Jeff freaking Ross can annihilate someone like this and still have the whole room howling with laughter.
You're the black sheep of a family responsible for 3 Mighty Ducks movies. You make your own father ashamed that he shares the same fake name as you.
I've ran into Mike a couple times. Mike still might be mad at me. True story. Yo, listen. I pissed Mike off.
What did you do?
He had an event. Mike had a charity event in Las Vegas. They called me. They wanted me to host the event, right?
If you're bold enough to come for Hollywood, you're definitely bold enough to come for Michael Jordan.
So I get up there and I'm like, hey man, loosen up. Relax, man. You had to have a good time. So as I'm saying stuff, I lock eyes with Mike. He's in the front row, and I start teasing him. I was like, man, what age do you get to where it's okay to wear your pants that high and nobody addresses it?
Yep, Kevin looked at the goat and went straight for the mustache, the pants, and the attitude.
I said, nobody, y'all telling me I'm the only one to think Mike's is past the legal limit for waist? But it was like fun jokes. And I said,
oh no.
He had like the little square mustache at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is that? I said, it looks like a thumbprint. Like you just smell something.
No one's safe. Not even number 23.
And like nobody's laughing. Like they got to a point where nobody's laughing, right?
Really?
I mean, no. He's looking like straight. He's actually giving me a look like you gonna keep on going, like you ain't gonna stop. So I don't care. I'm having a good time.
Did you get hired at the same time? He got it before me.
I got it like
with Farley. You and Farley,
me and
right?
Farley at the same time, but we knew you were coming.
Well, yes, they saved me a seat. I came like 6 shows after.
Yeah. Because they needed another black guy.
While sitting on Saturday Night Live, Chris Rock and Adam Sandler were taking a walk down memory lane. But if we know Chris Rock, we know that a twist is coming.
You thought I was black. No, Spade thought I was black.
Everybody thought you were black.
I know. Back in the day,
Till we got in the locker room.
Hey, not bad.
I got nothing.
That's why not? Yeah, really.
Oops. I feel bad for poor Sandler. But hey, as they say, locker rooms don't lie. From wingtip sneakers to government-issued white privilege socks, this roast went completely off the rails. It all started when Bill noticed Conan's shoes, wingtips with athletic soles, and immediately, he needed answers.
Why do you have athletic soles on your wingtips?
I just noticed.
You never know.
I just noticed that.
These are beautiful.
You know?
Wingtip shoes.
I don't know what it is.
I'm going to take these off now. These are beautiful wingtip shoes.
Bill cannot process the idea of dress shoes with sneaker bottoms, as if Conan is out here ready to drop dimes in a full suit. And just when Conan thinks he's defended himself, Bill doubles down.
They just have a little, like a rubber grip.
Yeah, in case of pickup game of hoop. He just can take off his tie. All right.
Well, you never know.
And then even the audience gets pulled into the roast.
This look absurd to all of you. Oh wait, thank you, sir. Thank you for leaping to my defense. That whole group over there still thinks it looks stupid. I think
he did too. He just wants to be your friend. There was too much emotion. You think this looks stupid? He's like, no! It's like, it didn't require that level.
Classic Burr turned the awkward silence into a weapon. One guy tried to support Conan, but according to Bill, he was trying way too hard to be Conan's friend. And just when you think this roast is over, Bill looks down and sees Conan's socks. Conan's wearing gold toe socks. And in that moment, Bill loses it.
gold-toe
socks.
I'm a banker.
What are you, a sitcom dad in the 50s? Honey, I'm home.
Hello,
I got a new company car.
Listen,
it's great to be white.
I say that every...
A sitcom dad from the 1950s? That's already hilarious. But this is where Bill takes it to another level, saying white people get these socks as a government perk.
Every morning when I wake up, as all white people do.
Yeah. Hey, you know that non-white people, the government gives us free gold-toed socks once a month just for being white.
The idea that the government hands out gold-toe socks to white people every month? Absolutely insane. Bill took a pair of shoes and socks and turned it into a full-blown comedy special. From playing basketball in a suit to gold-toed socks as a white privilege benefit, this roast was completely unhinged and absolutely perfect. He's not all fun and jokes, though, when it comes to standing by his beliefs.
All last year, I was touring with arguably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, living comedian, Chris Rock. Me and him toured all year last year.
So the monologue started with him mentioning how he was on tour with his good friend Chris Rock. But then Dave compares this celebrity moment to one of America's greatest tragedies.
And right before that tour started, Chris was involved in what we blacks might even consider a god 9/11. Chris got slapped in the face at the Oscars by Will Smith, which was one of the craziest things I'd ever seen. In fact, if you watch it live on television like I did.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. Dave reveals how he confirmed whether the slap was real or not, and his method is pure Chappelle.
I thought it was fake. I did, and I wasn't sure, so you know what I did? I waited, because unlike you, I know Chris. I waited like 30, 40 minutes, as long as it would take him to get to another party. And I called him on FaceTime, and he picked up. As soon as he picked up, he said, "You was the only I had to answer the phone for."
That phone call detail says everything about their friendship.
Apparently, Obama and Oprah, everybody had called this to see if everything was all right. And I thought it was fake. I didn't know. So I asked him, I go, well, he said, what? I said, well, did it hurt? And he said, yes, it hurt.
Chris's answer is exactly what you'd expect from a real one. But the best part? When Dave explains what really offended him about the whole situation. You won't believe what Will did next.
And then I knew that it was real. And then, and only then, was I offended. And I wasn't just offended that he got slapped. That was only half of it. The real offensive part was that after they slapped him, this Will just sat down and enjoyed the rest of his evening. It was crazy. It was the f*** is this?
Dave's impression here is absolutely spot on. Later in his special, he circles back with a question everyone was asking him.
Before that, I'd been making fun of Chris Rock. And people would ask me all the time. They'd say, Dave, what would you do if you were Chris Rock and Will Smith slapped you in the face? And to this day, the answer is the same. Well, I don't know what I would have done. I've never been in a situation that extreme. But I do know now what Will Smith would not have done.
Dave setting up a classic misdirection here. Watch how he flips it around. The punchline that follows? It's the kind of observation only Dave could make about what happened after the slap.
And that is, enjoy the rest of his evening. Man, listen. We gave that kid a good while. We was whooping his ass. Not we, I was on stage trying to think of a joke to tell, but they was beating this up right behind me. Everybody could see it.
That reveal about what was happening backstage? Absolutely wild. And the rappers up next definitely weren't laughing.
Okay, all right. A lot of people here that I love tonight. We got Lil Pump, we got Lil Xan.
It's the 2018 MTV Music Awards, and Kevin set his sights on some of the hottest rappers in the game. And let's be real, subtlety has never been Kevy Boy's style.
These are also the reasons that your 12-year-old cousin wants a face tattoo. Stop writing on your face. Stop writing on your face. It's stupid. You're not going to get a job if this don't work out. Stop it.
Kevin, you sound like an angry uncle scolding his nephew. Only Ricky could say that and live to tell the tale. Come on. He literally followed up with, "Please don't have me whacked." Smart move. And if you thought calling Joe Pesci Baby Yoda was risky, Ricky had absolutely no fear when it came to swinging at the Brits, too.
The world got to see James Corden as a fat pussy. He was also in the movie Cats, but no one saw that. And the reviews, oh, shocking.
Yep, James Corden caught a full-body roast. And Cats wasn't even the worst part.
I saw one that said, this is the worst thing to happen to cats since dogs, right?
That review line? Savage. Somewhere even the actual cats from Cats are trying to claw their way out of that movie. And just when you thought the Cats carnage was over, Ricky pivots from roasting the furball flop to Dame Judi Dench.
But Dame Judi Dench defended the film, saying it was the role she was born to play, because she... I can't do this next joke. Because she loves nothing better than plonking herself down on the carpet, lifting her leg, and licking her own minge.
Because why stop at James Corden when you can drag a literal dame into this? And from licking carpets to theme parks, because Ricky's whiplash transitions are an Olympic sport at this point.
Martin Scorsese, the greatest living director, made the news for his controversial comments about the Marvel franchise. He said they're not real cinema, and they remind him of theme parks. I agree.
Yes, Martin Scorsese versus Marvel, the cinematic beef of the decade. And just when you think Ricky's gonna side with the legendary director...
Although I don't know what he's doing hanging around theme parks. He's not big enough to go on the rides, is he? It's tiny.
Boom. Height joke. Man said Marty's not tall enough for the rides in his own metaphor. That's not a punchline, that's a drive-by with a measuring tape. And then he thought, why stop there when you can completely torch the room? Ricky was introducing Afterlife, a show about a man dealing with grief and depression. Sad, right? Well, according to Ricky, still more fun than sitting in that award show.
Watching this show, that's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer, and it's still more fun than this, okay?
But then, just when everyone thought they were safe...
Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
The next roast with James Franco is gonna be a scorcher. Ross participated in the 2013 roast of actor James Franco, and here's what he had to say.
You look like Johnny Depp with lupus. Does Ryan Gosling ever call you, start laughing, and then hang up? Franco is half Italian and half asleep.
King Jeff, landing knockout punches left, right, and center. Even the public is in awe. Just look at this comment by Carl. LOL, you can say what you want about these roasts being the only thing Jeff Ross does, but he brings it every time. The guy is the world heavyweight champion of insults. And I'm confident we can all agree to that. Now, let's see what more our champ has in store for James.
How about a hand for James's grandma, 91 years old? Beautiful. Look at her. Wow. "127 hours is how long she has left."
Somebody get James a hug, or at least a therapist on speed dial. He has a knack for trash-talking players.
When you go to a game, I see you sometimes at the games, and you're always right in the front row, and you always seem to be talking to the players during the game. What are you doing? What are you saying to them?
I'm talking.
You are.
Okay. I'm sorry. Oops. Beep that out. I'm sorry.
Everyone believes Kevin can get away with anything. One fan said, Kevin has reached a level where he can trash talk anyone and escape from it. And it seems to be a bit of a hobby.
No, man, I talk a lot of trash. That's why I go. I go there to sit courtside to mess with the players. That's literally all I go for. Like, it gets so bad because they can tell when I had too many drinks because I'm slurring.
Kevin pulled up to a Sixers game and basically made it his own stand-up show, directed entirely at James Harden.
I'll tell you a funny story. I pissed James Harden off. So
what happened?
I'm in Philadelphia. We're filming Untouchable.
Okay.
And I had a day off, so I decided to go to the Sixers game. James Harden is playing in the game, and the whole game, the whole first quarter. He's off. And I was like, you know why you off? Because you're in my city. Your beard stinks. I hate you.
From calling out his beard to accusing him of having butt shots, Kevin talked so much trash.
I was like, I hate your calves. I told him, I said, I think you got butt shots. I was saying a bunch of stuff to him. And he got mad. He said, remember all of this. He said, I'm about to cook you. I said, you gonna cook me? Well, put me in the pot because I'm ready to be cooked. We're talking like I don't even know why he's paying me this much attention.
And it seemed to have gotten on James Harden's nerves because he accidentally motivated him to drop 55 points and ruin Philly's night.
At some point, I was like, James, this is very unprofessional on your behalf. Like, you're not even supposed to be talking to me this much. James went on to score 55 points, and here's the bad part. They beat us by 30. And with like a minute left, he was dribbling the ball, standing in the half court, and he was just staring at me.
Kevin took his roasting so far, he may have made an enemy.
He goes, tell your team what you did to him. And I said, you keep your mouth shut. That's our business. He's sportsman.
Hey.
How you doing?
What the hell happened to your voice, Dave?
It's just gone.
What the hell? You sound like an old-ass man, Dave.
Chris Rock's at the Late Show, and before the jokes even start, something's already off. And it's Dave's voice. Yep, gone. Poof. And there's no way Chris is going to let that go.
At my age, the warranty begins to run out. Yeah, I don't know.
Things going bad, huh?
Oh.
Come on, Chris. Instead of showing sympathy for the man who's clearly losing a battle with his own throat, you're going in like it's open season.
And people say, well, do you feel all right otherwise? No, I feel like hell otherwise.
Damn, man. And you still doing the show?
Well, more or less. I don't know. I don't know that it would hold up in court.
Whoa!
Any chance Chris might go easy? Absolutely not. If anything, Dave's weakened state just gave him more ammunition. It's like throwing meat to a lion and expecting it to walk away.
You're a rich man. You could just go home. Wife's still mad at you, ain't she?
I don't feel so good.
Poor Dave. You can almost hear him thinking, is it too late to cancel this taping?
Why am I going to drive back to Connecticut to a mean woman? I might as well just stay here and do the show with no voice. I love you, honey.
Honestly, by this point, one look at Dave's face says it all. That "why did I invite this man" expression? Priceless.
I've been there, Dave.
Is that right?
I've been there.
Let's talk about it.
I've been in the cave, baby.
Well, now, tell me about you. I know the last time you were here, you're just about to go on a world tour or had just finished a world tour. How do you do that?
Eventually, Dave does what any seasoned host would do. He tries changing the subject like a man dodging flying knives. A+ for effort.
Tour, Dave.
Do you ever get sick when you're out there on the road?
I do get sick, Dave. And if my wife is mad at me, I just add on shows. I just add on.
Keep going.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we gonna do Roanoke next week.
But Chris wasn't done. He was just reloading. You could see Dave's Hail Mary attempt to move on completely ignored.
What the hell am I coming home to a bad woman for?
I understand. Well,
it's rough, Dave.
Yeah. Not much I can say here.
I know. I was backstage and fired all the cute girls. You got a bunch of fat old guys back there. The whole.
And then, boom. Chris just casually drops a line that would make most people choke on their water.
The vibe is just horrible, man. The band can't take it no more.
I'll tell you something, some of those guys are starting to look pretty good.
What should have been a routine interview quickly turned into a comedic masterclass in handling unprepared hosts. especially when they tried to challenge him on the show's humor. The conversation took an awkward turn when one of the hosts clumsily brought up religion, suggesting that some people felt Burr had gone too far with jokes about Christianity.
So your Christian background is part of the show, or at
Yes,
least
and
two
I wanted to
episodes.
talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far. Yeah.
Without missing a beat, Burr flipped the script and put the host on the spot. Too far? In what way? The host, clearly struggling, fumbled through a vague explanation about potential disrespect. Burr wasn't about to let that slide.
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did? As the hosts desperately tried to regain control, Burr turned their lack of preparation into the real joke, making light of their vague concerns. When one asked if he had been intentionally mocking Christian symbols, Burr shrugged it off, pointing out that there were only a couple of jokes about it in the entire show.
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
So did you feel you were
probably
being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far?
One host scrambled to steer the conversation elsewhere, but Burr wasn't about to let them off the hook. He compared the church's scandals to how SeaWorld quietly moves killer whales around after an incident, a joke that went right over the host's head.
Listen, a couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
well, they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld, after it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following.
Throughout the segment, Burr effortlessly balanced sarcasm, wit, and self-promotion, even joking about gentrification in New York and mocking the idea of offending illiterate people with neighborhood name changes. As the hosts awkwardly tried to wrap things up, Burr quipped that he'd love to meet the religious viewers who were supposedly offended and quiz them on their own faith.
They didn't call it Alphabet City anymore. You know that? They call it like the Lower East Side. Things, gentrification, whatever.
Was that offensive to illiterate people?
Anyway,
this town has changed.
F is for Family. Obviously, Netflix and the people who watch it love your show. Were we able to find a clip that we could clean up?
We got something. We got
You
something.
found something.
By the end of the segment, what could have been a disastrous interview had turned into comedic gold, with Burr in total control, leaving the hosts scrambling and the audience dying from laughter. And that's why no host is safe when Bill Burr is in the room.
It's like that white black that's in the news all the time. Rachel Dolezal. She always says that. She's a white woman, but then she dressed up like.
The way he describes this woman's racial transformation has the crowd already losing it. Wait till you hear what Dave's secret fantasy meeting with this controversial figure would involve.
Shot her way up to the very top of blackness. And I always wanted to meet her just so I could understand. I just wanted to like have dinner with her so I could just look in her eyes and call her face.
You know, Twitter was probably on fire when this came out.
It's talking about I identify black. That is trans talk, ladies. Stop biting. Stop biting. There's a big difference between her and a trans. The difference between her and a trans is I believe transgenders. I don't understand them either, but I know they mean what they say.
That stop biting line, pure Chappelle brilliance. And just when you think he couldn't get more explicit about his point, Dave goes for the most graphic comparison imaginable.
Them niggas cut they off. That's all the proof I need. I've never seen somebody just throw their away. Don't need it.
Dave just explained the entire controversy with one anatomical observation that nobody can unhear.
You gotta understand his, you gotta understand mine. When I go with the rapping, I'm gonna make it rhyme. What you want, lemon? No, hold the fucking line, cause we gotta take that bar and rhyme.
Now, Kevin and Kai were live on stream when Kai dropped bars living the dream. But when Kev started yapping, no capping, no clapping, that's when the real rap started snapping.
Yeah, Kai's ass, fuck that shit. He's really trash. Don't want him to rap no more. Let's make that the first and last. Listen to me, I'm making it a hard pass. A&P and him in the booth is really trash.
Yikes. Being a tad too brutal, aren't we, Kev?
You're ass too. What the f are you talking about? I said what? No,
No,
That's the
I
world.
don't. No, you're calling me trash for what?
I never called you.
You just called me trash.
AMP in a booth is really trasking, and we're lasting. Come on, man. Those guys are great guys. Donovan, Mickey.
No, we're not
Maurice.
Donovan. There's no Mickey.
Maurice.
There's no Bernard. There's no fucking body.
Did Kai like it? No. Did people love it? Yes. Did Kevin slay? Absolutely. Just take this commenter for example. Kevin just spit hella bars. I'm not gonna lie, that was heat. Touché, buddy. This was 2020. The internet hadn't let Epstein's suspicious suicide go. And Ricky? He was just saying what everyone else was thinking. And just when you think it can't get darker.
So what's happened this last year in this crazy business we called show? The excellent Spotlight has been nominated. Yeah.
Spotlight. An important film. A serious topic. But of course, Ricky saw that as the perfect setup for a Roman Polanski punchline.
The Catholic Church are furious about the film as it exposes the fact that 5% of all their priests have repeatedly molested children and been allowed to continue to work without punishment. Roman Polanski called it the best date movie ever.
Yeah, that sound you hear? That's the audience collectively regretting showing up. Some laughed, some gasped. After roasting predators and priests, Ricky decided to go after millionaires complaining about not being paid enough. Yep. Jennifer Lawrence walked right into the crosshairs.
Jennifer Lawrence made the news when she demanded equal pay for women in Hollywood, and she received, overwhelming support from people everywhere. There were marches on the street with nurses and factory workers saying, how the hell can a 25-year-old live on 52 million? There were plumbers around the world going...
Because what says injustice like only making $52 million by 25? Somewhere, a nurse on her third shift just sprained her eye from rolling it too hard.
There were plumbers around the world going, poor girl in town, what's lucky now?
Even the plumbers were like, bless her heart, she's practically on food stamps. And he didn't just stop there. Ricky had some thoughts about Hollywood's most aggressively advertised friendship.
Joy and Trainwreck. No, not the names of Charlie Sheen's two favourite hookers. The films of our next two presenters. They're best friends, by the way. They wanted me to tell you that. And if you forget, they said they'd tweet you.
Amy Schumer and Jennifer Lawrence, besties, BFFs, bonded for life, and apparently contractually obligated to remind us every 5 minutes.
Basically, they come round and shout it through. They're best friends. It's like they've never had a friend before. Please welcome Amy Schumer and Jennifer Lawrence.
It's giving first sleepover energy. You know the vibe. Matching outfits, shared Instagram captions, and just a touch of, we swear this isn't a PR stunt. But if there's one person Ricky's roasted so hard it probably shows up on their medical chart, it's Mel Gibson.
2 years ago, on this show, I made a joke about Mel Gibson getting a bit drunk and saying a few unsavory things. We've all done it. I wasn't judging him, but now I find myself in the awkward position of having to introduce him again.
You can feel the tension. Ricky's pretending not to judge, NBC's pretending this is fine, and Mel's probably pretending not to hear it.
I'm sure it's embarrassing for both of us, okay? And I blame NBC for this terrible situation. Mel blames, we know who Mel blames.
By this point, it's less of an intro and more of a hostage video with a punchline.
Listen, I still feel a bit bad for it, right? Mel's forgotten all about it, apparently. That's what drinking does. No.
And just when you think he might let Mel off the hook, boom. He blames it all on the booze. Classic.
I want to say something nice about Mel before he comes out. Oh yeah, okay, here you go. I'd rather have a drink with him in his hotel room tonight than with Bill Cosby.
Your full name should be Rob Lowe Testosterone. Rob Lowe.
Jeff Ross didn't hold back when he targeted actor Rob Lowe during the 2016 Comedy Central roast. The man came armed with punchlines sharper than a chef's knife.
Or as the girl in the sex tape said, Rob, no! Yeah, my hero Prince fought for creative freedom. And I think it's unfair that you have this reputation for being a diva and a bitch. Because if you were a man, they would just say you were strong and assertive.
You gotta hand it to Rob for taking it all like a boss, though. But Jeff? Oh, Jeff is leaving no stone unturned in testing his patience.
So when Comedy Central called me and said, Rob Lowe wants to be roasted, are you in, Roastmaster? I said, I'm with her. Because it's not easy for actresses in their 50s, but you keep swinging, baby.
Honestly, if you're gonna get verbally obliterated, might as well be by someone who looks this cool doing it with a guitar.
Is it true that you're deaf in one ear? Yeah. That can be a real problem for you sometimes because you can't hear the girl's parents coming home. Anyway, it's great to be here at the Comedy Central roast of white privilege.
The thing about white people jokes is that they get shrugged off as just good fun. But unlike most people, Jeff doesn't discriminate when it comes to roasting, no matter what people think.
I know what you're thinking. How come there's no black people up here? We actually booked 2. They're just not here yet.
He circles back to his favorite ESPN punching bag, Stephen A. Smith.
You have an exclusive announcement.
I do have an announcement. Okay, this is actually breaking news right now. Breaking news, and I chose to do it here, despite your choice of bad suits.
Kevin didn't just stop at his style. In another interview, he came for his vocabulary knowledge, basically calling him dumb in several different ways.
Stephen uses a lot of the big words. I don't really think he knows the definition of a lot of these words, but he throws them out at great points to make him come off as an educated man.
Such as?
Yeah, well, I've heard Steve use words like despicable. He used it wrong a couple times. He was like, listen to me, Skip, you have no despicable timing. I was like, what? What is that?
He's got a point. If you're gonna yell on TV every day, you should at least know what the words mean.
Oh, take my job. What you know? Well, all I gotta do is point to myself and talk loud and say a bunch of words that doesn't make any sense. That's all I gotta do. And let me tell you something, Skip. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about the severity of this man and the severity that he does.
And when Stephen tries to roast him back, Kevin obliterates him.
I gotta ask you a question. The hat, it's one thing to wear the hat backwards. Do you have an afro under that or something? It looks very, very high.
I'll tell you what. Hey, that's none of your damn business, okay? Whatever's going on up under my hat is none of your business. The only information that you need to know is that I don't have a mushroom on the top of my head like you. That's right, Stephen A.
First, he calls his haircut last season. Then he says he's ugly without the mustache.
Why don't you just admit to the public and to America that you got that from listening to me? Because that's what I've been saying all week.
Well, Stephen, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to admit is that you need the rest of your mustache back. That's what I'm going to admit. Okay, that's what I'm going to admit. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he did up here. Well, listen, I don't know what he did up there, but I want you to grow the rest of that. There's too much space in between here.
Kevin notices everything about celebrities' appearances. He never lets anything go. Boycott the Oscars? Oh, Chris thought about it. But the only problem? He wasn't about to lose another job to Kevin Hart. And honestly, fair point. At the rate Kevin Hart was booking gigs in 2016, he probably would have been hosting 3 award shows that night. Chris Rock came out swinging, and this wasn't the only instance. The 2022 Oscars were not any better for the Smiths. The 2022 Oscars were rolling along as expected. Red carpets, celebrities, and a whole lot of self-congratulations. But then came Chris Rock. He took the stage doing what he does best, roasting Hollywood royalty.
Now, if she loses, he can't win! He is praying that Will Smith wins, like, please!
It started with a joke on Javier Bardem and his wife, but then he turned his attention to Jada Pinkett Smith.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it, all right? That was a nice one, okay.
Boy, she does not look happy. The joke? A quick jab about Jada's shaved head, referencing G.I. Jane. But here's where things get complicated. Jada wasn't rocking that look by choice. She had openly spoken about her struggle with alopecia, a condition that causes hair loss. At first, Will Smith was laughing, but then he saw Jada's face too, and in an instant, everything changed.
Oh, wow! Wow!
Will stormed the stage and slapped Chris Rock across the face. The audience, frozen. Was this real? Was it a bit? Nobody knew what was happening. But once Will got back to his seat, oh, it was real.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to.
Chris barely had a second to process what had happened before Will was shouting across the room. And just like that, the entire vibe of the Oscars shifted from glamorous to straight up chaotic. Chris stayed professional. No retaliation, no meltdown, just pure shock.
Oh, let's give the people what they came to see. Kevin Hart, Nick Cannon, I need you here. Nick, you ready?
Ready.
Kevin Hart, you ready?
Ready.
Alrighty, it's Wild Out, people, and Kevin and Nick are locking horns. You just know this battle's about to get hilariously savage.
On that roast!
Kev, you dress like a perverted youth pastor.
Did y'all hear Nick got a new song coming out? Don't worry, nobody else did either.
Yikes, that comeback was quick. But then again, Kevin is the king of savagery. Come on now, Nick, hit him back and make it hurt.
Y'all know Kev is part of that Hollywood secret society, right? The Little Minati.
Let him cook, let him cook, let him cook. Let him cook. I won't let him cook. He just has a drink that comes with that. A milkshakey, okay?
I'll take that.
Hilarious. But Nick, you better be ready for what's coming next.
At this point, I'm gonna say what everybody else is thinking after all the babies. Nick's is trash. Let's go. Huh?
TKO you.
And that, my friends, was a clean knockout.
If I'm crazy or why I'm not as crazy as I feel like I should be. Because I've been through a lot of shit. On paper, I should be crazy. On paper, all the shit I've been through, I should be crazy. And who knows? Maybe it's coming. Maybe I got crazy waiting on me. Because you don't expect it. Nobody plans to be crazy. It just happens.
Kevin's doing his thing, cracking up the room about how crazy sneaks up on you. And what better example than Will Smith's surprise smackdown on Chris Rock?
Crazy just sneaks up on you. Look at Will Smith. He didn't plan that. That just happened. What? He didn't plan that. It just happened. Keep my wife's name out your mother, He didn't plan that.
Oh my god, this has to be the best imitation ever. Do it again, Kev.
Keep my wife's name out your mother, Jumped out his goddamn body.
Man, that was hilarious. Even the crowd's rolling with laughter. It would be blasphemous not to talk about Jeff roasting Trump. We're talking about the 2011 Comedy Central Roast special with Donald Trump as a guest. Jeff Ross was one of the main roasters, and as expected, he didn't hold back.
Let's talk about this guy, the guest of honor, my friend, the great one, Donald Trump, everybody. You like my trumpador?
Looks good.
Thank you. Trying to honor you in every way I can.
Right after paying his respects, Jeff landed the most brutal punch of all.
That Donald and I have a lot in common. We both live in New York. We both play golf. We both fantasize about his daughter. Ivanka, you're the most beautiful woman in New York. You really are. Give her a round of applause. She's awesome.
Ooh, poor Ivanka. And even poorer Donald. But beware, Melania, you're next.
Melania, you look so beautiful tonight. Give her a round of applause. She's been a good sport. So gorgeous. These two are so compatible because they both yell out Donald's name when they climax.
You know what? It's not every day you get to see Donald speechless. Thank you, Jeff, for letting us witness this rare moment in history. He went for Kai Cenat's jugular by roasting his appearance.
Oh, nobody pushed my hand.
You see how they...
No shot. That's a lot of forehead.
Shout out Gino.
How many fingers can you put in your forehead? 3. Don't do this in front of everybody. Look at me. I'm at 3. Drewski.
Kai was so embarrassed he didn't know what to do except to whine about it.
I'm at 2. No. Start at your eyebrow. Start at your eyebrow. 1, 2, now 3. Kai's at 5. God damn! Yeah. You gotta keep these up, bro.
But Kevin does not stop there. He just had to roast his intelligence.
So listen, I know you know the guess.
Why does it take you so long to say a sentence? Like, f***ing spit it out. Are you stupid? Are you f***ing stupid?
All right, it has to be an announcement every time.
The confusion on Kai's face is priceless.
Something's going on, and then she lifted her arm and she had armpit hair, and I was like, what the f-? It just ruined it, dude, immediately. I was into it. I was all in.
That's hilarious.
Armpit hair got me.
That's hilarious. Armpit hair doesn't bother me at all.
No.
Doesn't
on
bother
a lady?
me.
So
No.
wait, you like jack ladies with armpit hair?
Yeah, a little bit of
You're
armpit
getting
hair.
close, dude.
The conversation has already entered weird waters.
That's as close as it gets.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I like a good buzz cut.
I like them bald.
Yeah,
I like a bald lady. She can wear a wig.
Yeah, she can wear
You be a different hairstyle
Get her
every
some
night.
khakis.
Love it when they start roasting themselves too. At the 77th Academy Awards in 2005, Chris Rock hit the stage with one mission: to roast everything and everyone.
Hey, welcome to the 77th and last Academy Awards. It's a great night tonight. We have like 4 black nominees tonight. So great. It's kind of like the Deaf Oscar Jam tonight.
Things started off with Chris's usual complaints, but then his radar locked onto someone very specific: Jude Law. With that trademark smirk, Chris called him out like he was settling a personal score.
You can't get a star, wait. You want Tom Cruise and all you can get is Jude Law, wait. It's not the same thing, okay? Who is Jude Law? Why is he in every movie I have seen the last 4 years?
He didn't stop at throwing shade. Chris practically pitched a tent and started camping there.
Even the movies he's not acting in. If you look at the credits, he made cupcakes or something. He's in everything. He's gay, he's straight, he's American, he's British. Next year, he's playing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the movie. If you can't get a star, wait, okay?
You might be thinking, okay, that's a little harsh. And maybe it was. But admit it, you laughed.
If you want Russell Crowe and all you can get is Colin Farrell, wait. Not the same thing, okay?
By now, Jude wasn't just roasted. He was toasted, flambéed, and served on a platter. But just when people thought Chris would stop, he went back for seconds like Jude owed him rent and was late.
Nobody wanted to make Passion of the Christ, man. Come on, they made 6 police academies and can't make 1 Passion of the Christ. They had no problem making Hellboy, but made Passion of the Christ. That means Jude Law could get in the club easier than Mel Gibson and Jesus.
Yikes, Chris, are you really joking though? Because that roast felt less like comedy and more like pent-up rage.
1980s. I read this guy's book. I started running stairs because of this dude.
You read a kickboxer's book?
Oh, yeah. I read
dumb as f***.
dumb as
If I'm being honest here, you come to a show, you tell them you read kickboxing books, you're just asking to get roasted, no cap.
I've read about 30 kickboxers books. Every kickboxer book that anybody ever wrote, I read.
I did sit-ups, and then I kicked that guy in the head.
That would be a dumb fat dude's interpretation of what a world-class combat sport athlete would.
Not gonna lie, he did make a good comeback, but the damage was already done. Chris started off acknowledging the elephant in the room, because, let's be real, everybody knew what happened.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Yes, it happened. I got smacked like a year ago. Fucking last week, I got smacked at the fucking Oscars by this. And people like, did it hurt? It still hurts.
There it was. Raw, unfiltered honesty. He didn't pretend it didn't hurt. He didn't brush it off. He owned it. But this wasn't just about a slap. According to Chris, this was about selective outrage.
Will Smith practices selective outrage.
practices selective outrage. Because everybody knows what the happened. Everybody that really knows I had nothing to do with that.
But watch how he very slyly throws shade at Jada with what he says next.
I didn't have any entanglements. I did not have any entanglement.
But you see, this wasn't really about a G.I. Jane joke. This was about years of humiliation.
And then for people that don't know, and everybody knows, Wilson and his wife was her son's friend, okay? Now, I normally would not talk about this.
And so, he aired their dirty laundry in front of the whole world. Chris wasn't the one who embarrassed Will Smith. Jada did that all on her own.
But for some reason, these put that shit on the internet. I have no idea why two talented people would do something that low down. What the we all been cheated on. Everybody in here have been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television.
She wasn't just cheating, she aired it out publicly. And not just publicly, on a full-blown interview where she sat across from Will and basically said, yeah, I had a thing with our son's friend. How do you feel about that?
It's like, hey, I was sucking somebody else's. How did that make you feel?
And the entire world watched Will's soul leave his body.
Why the would you do that shit? She hurt him way more than he hurt me, okay?
Once that entanglement went viral, it was open season on Will Smith. Every rapper, every podcast, every talk show, everyone was clowning him. And instead of checking them, Will decided to take all that built-up frustration and smack the one guy he knew wouldn't hit back. That, Chris wasn't about to let slide.
Everybody called him a shit, called his wife a predator. Everybody called him a
I mean, okay, Chris, I think we all get it. The entire world was calling Will weak, and instead of hitting back at the people who actually humiliated him, he picked Chris Rock.
And who's he hit? Me. A nigga he know he could beat. That is some.
Chris, not impressed. And here's where it all comes full circle, because this wasn't the first time Jada came for Chris.
I do nothing to this, okay? His whatever. Years ago, his wife said I should quit the Oscars. I shouldn't host because her man didn't get nominated for Emancipation. The biggest piece of ever, okay? And then something gives me a concussion.
Jada started it. Chris finished it.
She said he should quit because Will didn't get nominated for concussion. What the What the So then I do some jokes about her. Who gives a That's how it is. She starts it, I finish it, okay? That's what the happened. Nobody's picking on this. She started this.
Chris Rock waited an entire year to say anything about the slap. But when he finally spoke, he made sure it hit harder than Will ever could. Chris didn't just stop at obliterating Will and Jada. He had more to say. And next on his list, Meghan Markle and her shocking revelations about the royal family. For months, Meghan had been making headlines, claiming that the royal family was racist, from subtle jabs to full-blown interviews about how she was treated unfairly. And Chris, he wasn't buying it.
They're so racist, they're so racist. Some of that he went through was not racism. It was just some in-law.
One of Meghan's biggest complaints was that a royal family member questioned her baby's skin tone.
Sometimes it's just some in-law. Because she's complaining, I'm like, what the she talking about? No, they're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby was gonna be. They're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby's gonna be.
Chris, he had a very different perspective.
I'm like, that's not racist. Because even black people want to know.
To him, this wasn't some deep, sinister racism. It was just regular family gossip. Because let's be real, black families do this too. But here's where Chris really called Meghan out.
They wanted to know how brown the baby was gonna be. They're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby's gonna be. I'm like, That's not racist. Because even black people want to know.
She claimed she didn't realize how racist the royals were until after she married Harry. And Chris? He wasn't having it. Chris's point? Meghan married into the most privileged family on Earth. She's not exactly struggling. She just has annoying in-laws. Next on his list of entitled celebrities, Elon Musk. Because, let's be honest, when you're the richest man on the planet, you're automatically a target.
I'm my favorite charity. You know what Elon Musk does every time he sells a Tesla? He gets his sucked.
Chris didn't just roast Musk for being a billionaire. He roasted him for having billionaire problems.
That's why he looks so weird. Because his body has negative. He's the richest man on earth. No one has lower levels than Elon Musk.
Most guys worry about rent, car payments, maybe keeping their Wi-Fi on. Meanwhile, Elon is dealing with an entirely different kind of crisis. And forget about the stock market. There's a 6-month waiting list for something far more exclusive.
There's a 6-month waiting list for Elon Musk. He's flying to the moon. Who can compete with that shit? No one has less sperm than Elon Musk. Only Jason Momoa comes close.